What's going on, guys? So here we are for the post-fight of UFC 226. We're going with the two heavyweight main and co-main events, Francis Ngannou and Derek Lewis, and Stipe Miocic and Daniel Cormier. So Francis Ngannou, Derek Lewis, that fight was kind of a little boring, I guess, right? But we called that, didn't we? Sometimes when two people have a lot of power, they respect each other a little too much. And we kind of predicted that going into this fight. A lot of people expected them to go in and slug it out. One of them getting knocked out early. But we kind of had it going different. We saw it going to a decision. At least I did. And
Well,
yeah.
I figured it would, either be a knockout or a decision. I didn't think there'd be a TKO or anything like that. But, it's a lot of people
Hold
don't.
on, can I quote you 1 second?
Sure.
I think you said someone's going to get knocked the fuck out.
That's true. That's true. I did say that. But I was on the hype train,
And it's true. Like, when you see these two knockout artists going against each other, how do you not think someone's going to get knocked the fuck out?
Yeah, well, that would be your first thought.
Can you do it for me real quick?
Yeah.
Can you please do it for me?
Somebody's going to get knocked the fuck out.
There we go.
But, I think people didn't like it. I didn't think it was that boring because I knew the repercussions if someone landed that hit.
We are big fans of MMA, so we understand that both these people could put each other's lights out, and both of them were looking for the counter punch. No one wanted to throw that first punch. They didn't want to punch coming over the top and knocking them out. So I can't blame them. The crowd was booing. I hate when UFC fans boo. I feel like UFC has the worst fans of all time. I don't mean to be judgmental by that, but a lot of these fans, I feel like, are a little stuck up, and they just want them to slug it down and lose brain cells. But let's be honest, this is a sport, this is MMA, and it has dire consequences. So,
well, especially with those two heavyweights, if Ngannou lands or if Lewis lands, lights out, it's over. It might take you a while to work your way up the chain again to get another title fight or whatever. So this is their livelihood. Most people that watch the fights probably don't even train. So they don't even understand what's going on. They just want to see blood and guts and tears and everything else in the ring.
What did we say while the fight was going on and everyone is booing? We're saying we'd like to pull someone from the crowd that's booing and say, you get in there. I
would love for that to happen. I would love for that to happen. But, it's kind of like a chess match on the ground. People hate whenever, fighters go to the ground and wrestle or do jiu-jitsu, but they don't know what they're watching. So I think it's fun that there's a huge chess match going on with Ngannou and with Lewis. They were both trying to size up that big shot, and it didn't happen. That didn't mean it couldn't have happened. Those kind of fights, I think we need 5 rounds, really, because 3 rounds, it takes them a long time to even fill it out, and then the last 30 seconds they started throwing. But
even Joe Rogan, who's usually supportive of the fighters, was saying it's boring, which is unfortunate, but
well, it is what it is, and Derek Lewis, hey, good on him. Maybe he'll get a title shot.
I'm so happy Derek Lewis won. I mean, I wish it was by a KO, TKO, something, but he was even throwing some switch kicks. I was really surprised of.
Yeah.
He had some tricks up his sleeve, but anyways, on to the main event: Stipe Miocic versus Daniel Cormier. Man, it ended a little soon. Didn't it end like I was thinking it was going to end? And Daniel Cormier got it finished in a way that that's the last way I thought he would have won that fight, is by a KO or TKO.
It was crazy. I mean, you could clearly see a size disadvantage like we expected. Stipe was 6'4" to DC's 5'10" or 5'11", but the shocking thing to me was I think DC was heavier weight-wise than
he was heavier, yeah.
Stipe, but that goes to show that Stipe, it might be an undersized heavyweight. He's smaller weight-wise than a lot of the guys he's fighting. But, Stipe's a killer, DC's a killer, but DC's just so darn good. It's tough to overlook him.
But there's a lot of elements I feel like we're overlooking in this fight, because going into the fight, the first round, I felt like Stipe was winning the fight. He found his distance. He was landing a lot of punches. He was connecting a lot, And Daniel Cormier, in the beginning, I was talking to you, and I was like, DC looks a little overwhelmed. Like, he's never been in there with a heavyweight as talented as Stipe Miocic. But once you get in that clinch like that, the guy with the shorter hands could get power in closer distances like that, and that's exactly what happened. Well, they were fighting in close, and DC just threw a little hook, a check hook, up close, and lights out.
And Stipe didn't have his hands up, which Stipe would probably tell you that. Damn it, I should have had my hands up. But I think that's what separates DC from a lot of the other fighters is these little details that he catches, that he notices, that he does. And that just is another credit to DC.
And if you watch DC, even when he fights John Jones, he wins in the clinch always. He's just really good at fighting in close in that clinch. He's good at throwing uppercuts, little check hooks. He's good at fighting in that clinch like that.
I'm excited for the heavyweight division. We don't know if DC is going to hold the belt and try to defend it a couple times, if he's going to give it up and go back to light heavy. We don't know, but I'm really excited.
He's fighting Brock Lesnar. So stay tuned for a video because we're going to talk about that. And also, I'm calling it right now, Stipe Miocic coming off a loss and Derek Lewis coming off of a win. They're going to meet up. I feel like that's the next fight to make. Both of them are up there in the top of the heavyweight division. And, that's going to decide who's going to get that next title shot after DC versus Brock Lesnar.
Yeah, I agree. And I'm calling it now. DC's going to beat Brock, and then Brock's going to pop a week later like he does every other time he fights.
Brock's so big, though. When you put them together and you have no knowledge at all of these two guys, you're going to pick Brock Lesnar 100%.
Every time.
100% of the time. Because he's so big, he's so massive.
He's athletic, he's strong.
He's a wrestler also, exactly. So this is a very intriguing fight. I'm really intrigued on how this fight's going to go down.
But DC trains with Cain Velasquez, who fought Brock Lesnar, so he has an inside with that. He's got a great training partner, which was probably what helped him with the Stipe fight. He was training with Cain Velasquez this whole fight camp. So I'm not surprised that DC won, and I wouldn't be surprised if he defended his belt a couple times. So, it's a great future for UFC fans looking forward, because now we have some big fights to look forward to. And then when John Jones gets back, if he gets back soon, then we're going to he's going to get thrown back in the middle. We might see a heavyweight fight with him in DC.
Well, there's been talks of John Jones fighting heavyweight, but it never came to be because he popped.
Now that DC's up there, he will. They have a vendetta they have to solve.
And that adds a whole new element to that fight because it's at heavyweight.
Absolutely. So let us know what you think of the fights. It was a great night of fights tonight.
Hold on. Don't close it out yet. As you may know, or you may not know, because we have about 5 consistent followers at this point because we're a very new channel. But if you like what we're doing, please hop on now, subscribe, like, comment. And we're enjoying all this, and we're not going to stop anytime soon. But we did have a wager on this fight, and Brett did come out 1 fight ahead. It all came down to that final fight, and I had Stipe winning, which I thought he was going to win, and he was doing really good. But DC got it done, and we bet a ghost pepper on it. So stay tuned for that video because I will be eating a ghost pepper, and I am not scared. I'm not scared at all. I really wanted this guy to eat the ghost pepper because he does not like hot stuff at all, but stay tuned for that boring video as I just run through a ghost pepper, Alright guys, peace.